You are listening to a pleasure podcast. For more from our sex podcast collective, visit pleasurepodcasts.com.
I'm curious about the cream pies, to get back to the cream pies.
Why are you so obsessed with the cream pie part? I mean,
Because it seemed like the question at hand, the cream pie
yeah, you
cleanup.
did have a question about this.
Yeah.
So
What bothers you about the cleanup, or it doesn't bother you, it turns you on, or does it gross you out, or what's the deal?
Well, if it's someone else, like she's been with someone else and she gets a cream pie, cleaning it up to me it doesn't bother me. It bothers me if it's my own.
it's uncomfortable to talk about sex, but sometimes it's important to get uncomfortable. Sex Talk with My Mom is the best mom-son podcast about sex.
It's the only one as well.
My mother is a cougar.
My son is a clown.
In a nutshell, my dad died, so my mother decided to create a YouTube channel all about sex, like all mothers do.
And then my son decides to use my material in his stand-up comedy routines.
And thus, Sex Talk with My Mom was born. Welcome to Sex Talk with My Mom. I'm Cam Potter.
And I'm Karen Lee Potter.
My friends, we're chatting about sex on a weekly basis during the summer-long quarantine. We are going to be only releasing one episode per week, but it's going to be a bomb-ass, dank-ass episode.
That's right. Like today is going to be a good one, so stay tuned.
Because we got a little sneaky freak on the line, which
boy.
we love to do.
And what a cute one.
We got a cute, sneaky freak on the line. So basically, this is what it means. We have a new text number. Mother, what is that number?
It's 310-356-3920. Shall I say it again?
Will you sing it?
310-356-3920.
Wow, that is the most memorable number I've ever heard.
What memorable tune was that?
I don't think anyone's going to be able to get it out of their
Why
heads.
didn't you say, do it the TikTok way?
What is the TikTok way?
I'm drawing a blank right now.
Oh, wow.
Do, do, do. Do, 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 do. Okay.
Oh, my God.
I feel like it's like a carpet commercial. 310-356-3920.
Win a Lelo by texting us.
Now you're getting people's attention.
We're giving away a Lelo product this week. So this is your last week to join us by texting us at that number. We've only had so many texts. So if you text us there, you have a good chance of winning one of our favorite sex toys.
So let's just explain what Lelo is a little bit. Lelo is, I don't know about you, Cam, but it's my personal favorite brand of sex toys. They are rechargeable. They are waterproof. You can take it in the shower. You could take it in the bath. You could take it in the ocean. You can use it in a box with a fox, with a locks.
They're incredible. I put my dick in mine and it gives me life.
Thank you for sharing that you put your dick in yours. I would like to say that I just love these, the way they fit, they have massagers.
We got it. We love it.
All right,
okay.
all right, we love it.
We love the toy. Let's move on. If you want to win it, all you got to do is text us at that number and sign up for this website that they're going to send you to. And basically, it puts you in direct communication with us. And we have had some really interesting conversations, one of which led to a conversation about cuckolding with one of our listeners. And so you'll hear him later on the show. We're going to get into all sorts of cuckolding details. If you ever thought about being a cuck or even using the term cuck, because now I'm a little nervous to use it, we're going to get into that.
Yes, we will. I've been talking about cucking for a long time. I'm a veteran cuckold talker. I'm vanilla in bed, but I'm a veteran cuckold speaker.
Would you say you're a cuck queen?
A cuck queen? No, I'm not a cuck queen. I told you I'm boring vanilla. I'm just like I'm like a pillow princess. Remember that I'm not a cuck queen at all. But I've spoken to many people regarding the subject, and it's quite popular.
So we're gonna get into it. And before that, I wanted to get into just a little catch up, Bob. What's going on in your life over there?
Okay, let's just talk.
Okay.
I don't think people are warned early in life that when their parents get older, your primary focus is going to be on their bowel movements.
Oh yeah, it's like just you're babysitting again. You focused on my bowel movements, and I get to focus on your mother's bowel movements.
It's unbelievable. I already focused on my father's bowel movements. He's passed away now.
I basically held his dick.
That was a urine. That was the other functioning that you had to be involved with.
Yeah, luckily I didn't have to do anything related to his ass.
You loved holding his dick, admit it.
I loved it.
Especially when he's not a 90-year-old dick. It's got to be like
He's
something
giving me a hard time for wearing gloves.
a hard time. Get it?
It wasn't a hard time, I'll tell you that much.
You didn't get hard when you held your grandpa's dick.
Neither did he.
Oh, come on. Well, though he was to his dying day still going on the porn channels.
Yep. He asked you not to share that.
And
that
I'm
was like
so
his
fucking
one
proud
dying
of.
wish
I
not
know,
to share that.
But I'm so proud of him that he did that. That I'm telling you, just think about it. If you're 90 and you're still interested in going on Pornhub or RedTube or whatever the brand he likes.
If a light bulb falls out of his socket in your room right now, you'll know that he's there telling you not to fucking continue telling the world about his porn.
Why? Is it something to be embarrassed about? I think
apparently he didn't want you to talk about it.
Well, that's just because he was thinking, well, I'm embarrassed, but there's no reason to be ashamed about watching something that gives you some stimulation, especially when you're 90 and you're really not doing it any longer.
Do you think he was watching cuckold porn?
I don't know what kind of porn he was watching. I'm guessing
that would be very interesting.
I don't think he was watching. I'm guessing maybe he liked casting couch as well.
I think he was watching Jewish porn.
Is there a Jewish porn?
I'm sure there's Jewish porn.
Why would he be watching Jewish porn? Maybe he was watching doctor-patient porn because, he was a doctor. What do you think?
Yeah, he could have been.
What kind of porn do you like?
I honestly, I was looking through the porn categories the other day because we did a podcast with we're doing a podcast with someone.
I was going to say, don't tell me we did one because then I'm going to think you were trying to gaslamp me. Is it gaslamping or gaslighting?
Gaslighting. I'm not trying to gaslight you. It's coming up. We're doing a porn podcast with girls on porn, but so I was looking through the categories. I don't like any of them. Where's just the basic missionary
boring ass? That's going to excite you?
Just like a nice conversation followed by sex. That's all.
Wait, so is it because you're so overly sensitive that anything can set you over the deep end? So you need something.
I just don't know why. I don't understand why you need to create these. Everything is stepsister, stepmother. What I don't get that is going on?
It's sickening.
How about just you met someone in a coffee shop and then we had sex later on? That's a nice porn thing for me.
I don't even think that's rated R. That's PG-13 stuff.
I don't know why it needs to be this crazy, ludicrous situation.
Well, I'm on the other hand. I like one genre. It is unbelievable. I just like the casting couch. That's it.
I didn't even see that as a genre.
It is a genre. I showed you that it was a genre. You keep thinking it's not a genre. I thought
it's just like a brand that does like, oh, hey, we're casting a show and we're fucking all the contestants or the auditionees.
I think it's just one guy, basically. I know his body. I know his tattoos. He's got like a.
So maybe you're just attracted to this guy.
Not at all. And they don't even show his face, which is ironic. All the times I've watched it, never saw his face. You always see whoever the innocent girl that he's subjecting himself on.
Isn't it amazing?
This is why I think I like the casting couch, because the guy, you hear him talking, he's got a script. I can give you the script later. The script is unbelievable. But anyway,
so they have a whole genre dedicated to this man who reads the same script every time.
Basically,
and you like that.
Sometimes there's a little variation, like whether it's a different young, old. Sometimes it's two girls. Sometimes it's black. Sometimes it's Asian. You never know what you're gonna get. But it's
how often are you watching this shit?
It depends. Like right now, I'm not watching it at all because I had a hysterectomy. But under normal circumstances, at least once a week.
Once a week, you're gonna fire up the casting couch.
Yeah,
and it's the same shit every week.
Every fucking week. I never know when there's a new one out, but man, it's the same office. I'm thinking to myself, do you know how much that office must smell like cum?
Ew.
Think about it.
I don't understand why you watch this.
It's realistic, even though you know it's not.
It's realistic.
There's a disclaimer.
It's the same script every week. There's a disclaimer. What does the disclaimer say?
This is what I think I like about it, because it's kind of deceptive. These women think that they're going to be hired as porn stars, but it's all a fake. So, it's like a double fake. I'm being faked. They're faking that the girls are being faked. It's a whole fake thing. It's 100% fake. Yet it's still very entertaining to me.
Oh my god!
I don't know
Mom.
why I like
That
it,
is
and it's
so
the same.
fucking hilarious.
And it's the same order of what they do. Let me take off your clothes. Show me what you got. He grabs a hold of the boobs.
Show me what you got.
Basically, show me what you got. He grabs the boobs. He lays her down on the couch. She, then he says, show us how you masturbate. She's like, ah. And then does your boyfriend know you're here? I mean, it's a whole kind of.
And the girls are always acting the same way. It's always like, oh,
Yeah,
I am too embarrassed, and I'll do it
exactly.
anyway.
Yes, which leads me also to believe that they're coached as to how to act as well.
Yeah, there's nothing real about this.
I
Here's
like
my
to think of it
question.
as real. Okay, I don't blow it for me. Okay, so then it's like, you're going to have to blow the male talent, and the male talent happens to be me. So then she goes and blows him, and the next thing you know,
Surprise!
he tells her to lean over his desk, and then he's like, "Do you know where I'm going to put this?" And he shows her like a dildo or something, or his dick, and she's
He
like, "Yeah,
says it every week.
in my ass." Okay.
Okay, we're going down the slide.
Going in for landing. The
Same
whole
exact
thing is
script.
same thing every time, and sometimes they vary it up. Like I said, if there's 2 women, 2 girls.
I guess you get what you pay for. You know exactly what you came for.
That's
and
right.
It's delivered.
It's delivered. And
Delivered on a-
sometimes I'll be honest, I skip ahead. I skip way over the beginning stuff and go right to it's time to have sex.
I think you just haven't really explored any other.
I have, Cam, and I don't like it as much. I like
I feel you. That sounds way more enjoyable than, hey, this is. Oh, we've been growing up since the age of 6 together. This is my sister who I went to preschool with, and now we're gonna fuck each other because I'm horny, and she's around,
yeah.
and I've had this longing desire for her. I don't understand this.
You don't have a desire to fuck your sister. Is that what you're saying? do you
I
have
think
a
my
desire?
sister might be. I think if I were to rank like the people on this planet, I honestly think my sister would be in the bottom 3 people in the world that I'd have sex with.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Let's not get into this.
All right, but the bottom line is it's a taboo. It's taboo, and that's why people get turned on by that. Everyone likes something that's not, that's taboo.
Taboo. Speaking of taboo,
I have no desire, by the way, to fuck my sister or my brother. So if that makes you feel any better, that's the way it's going to be.
thank you very much for that clarification. Speaking of taboo, I wanted to explain before we get into the cuckolding thing that I was researching cuckolding. Here's the definition of what a cuckold is for those who don't know. It is a quite common trend. It's considered it's a fetish or a kink in which a person gets turned on by their partner having sex with someone else. Okay? Usually, it's a man watching his wife fuck another man. However, really at this point in time, it could be the woman fucking another woman, or it could be the woman fucking a trans person, or it could be any sort of. It could be the woman watching her man fuck someone else. All the gender doesn't really matter at this point.
Well, can I just ask you something? If you are dating somebody, there's a possibility somewhere down
the fuck is so funny about that?
No, I mean, eventually you're going to be dating someone.
Yes, thank you.
And she turns to you one night and she's like, I'd really like to see you fucking another girl. Well, what would you say?
Let me think about it.
Oh, you might be into it.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I think it used to be a lot more taboo than it is these days. Now it's like...
It is extremely common at this point.
I don't even think it's called cuckolding now. I think it's called more like voyeurism or something.
Well, it is a bit... So, this is a genre of porn. It's
did you check it out?
It's one of the most popular porn genres out there, and one of the most Googled types of porn, actually.
More so than MILF and Cougar?
I'm not sure where... Probably not as popular as those. Cougar?
Cougar? You never seen cougar porn?
So,
it's one of the most
popular.
Are you
proud that that's a very popular porn category?
Of course. Of course I am. It's very flattering, and I know why. I know why it's popular.
Because
Because
they're a confident, older, unique, genuine,
yes,
assertive, and racy woman.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, and I think that's
I had
very
a feeling
attractive.
that's where you're going with that.
It's very attractive to younger guys, so that's why it's so popular, which I think is a good thing. It's more of better than degrading women. It's actually adoring women.
So I wanted to also let you know that the cuckold dress is the person having the sex, isn't who's not always the woman, but that's the person having the sex in the relationship, the cuckold dress, and also the person who's the third party that's coming in for a landing is considered the bull.
Oh, the bull. So it's that. Okay, let's just, for the sake of argument, just say, uh, it's a guy and his wife and an outside man coming into the picture.
Yeah.
Because I
So
can't do it when we're doing all these different.
So we got the cuckold,
Okay.
his cuckold dress,
Yes.
and then the bull.
Okay.
You got it?
The dress meaning like she's wearing a dress.
No, cuckold dress. Like an
Cuckold.
actress.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, okay. See, now, Dr. Nancy Sutton Pierce, who is one of my very close friends, who's a sex educator, told me during our live stream last week that they're getting away from that whole cuckold term because it came from like white supremacy.
Yes. So
For the sake of argument, we're going to continue to call it cuckold, but just so you know, we're not supporting white supremacy.
the reason I don't really like this word cuckold is, first of all, in 2016, it was really popularized by the conservatives for, they would be basically anyone who's not in line with the conservative party, with the Republican Party, they would call like a cuckold, basically. And especially cuckservative became like a common slur against people. Basically, someone who's Republican supports Trump, but maybe they support Planned Parenthood at the same time.
So that's interesting because Dr. Nan said we should call it. She said it's white supremacy to try to convince yourself you're superior to someone who you feel inferior to.
Yes, and so it's also it is rooted in racism.
Right.
This term.
I could see why. I think it's probably from like back in the days of slavery or something like that.
So in porn, the wife of the cuckold, almost exclusively white husband. The wife of the cuckolded, almost exclusively white husband is most commonly sleeping with African American men.
Right.
So the bull in porn is typically African American, which is meant to provide an additional layer of humiliation if the white husband sees that the man is inferior. So
Or probably has a bigger dick or one of those type of things as well.
Right. So basically, some people get into cuckolding because it creates this humiliation for them. Okay.
We know that there's a lot of humiliation fetishes we've had on this podcast even.
So basically, they're using this guy's race as a black man to make himself even more humiliated, which is not good.
Not good. But so that's why Dr. Nan has suggested we call it a hot wife. It's a married woman whose marriage is open on her end only, so that she can date other men and have sex with them with both the permission and encouragement of her husband in order to fulfill his fantasy of sharing her with other men to the benefit of their marriage.
So I also read that the term hot wife shouldn't be used.
Oh my God.
I'm sorry.
Well, I don't know.
Because a hot wife scenario is more about sex rather than emotion, power, or control.
Yeah. Sex is complicated, it is. It's like I like to call it preference instead of kink or fetish or any of that stuff. I say preference.
Okay, well, guess what? This is what I'm fascinated by about
What?
cuckolding. For the sake of ease, we're going to continue using the word cuckolding, but please know it's not. We don't have a better word right now.
Yeah, it's sort of like and we're gonna have to come up with one the way I had to come up with the confident, unique, genuine, assertive, and racy woman for cougar, because that used to be a bad term. Now I made it into a rewarding term.
So there are a few different reasons why someone would be interested in cuckolding. Okay. One is that it creates this jealousy, and the jealousy can then lead to more intense arousal that you can then fulfill with your wife later on or your husband later on, whoever's, You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I kind of like that.
The opposite is also true. Compersion. We heard about compersion on our episode Multi-Amory. But basically, it's the flip side of jealousy. It's like the happiness you receive when you see your partner getting pleasure.
Yes.
Okay, so some people want that for their partner. It's amazing how you have jealousy, you have compersion, and then you have this humiliation aspect, which is like some people get turned on by being humiliated by seeing their partner with someone else.
Like that. Remember when we interviewed the human cash point?
Yes,
He loved being humiliated, knowing that someone is taking all his money from him and buying stuff for, like, to wear like a cool lingerie with another man and things like that.
yep. And then there's this submission aspect too, which you're allowing basically someone else to take over your role in the bedroom. Sometimes it's, say it's the cuckold dress telling you, "Hey, sit over there while you watch me fuck someone," and some people get aroused by that submission.
Yeah, I did a YouTube video on this, and it had hundreds of thousands of comments. I mean, it was one of the most commented, and still up there. If you want to listen to the interview that I had with this guy, who was very much into the whole, cuckolding experience, and the comments were like so fucking hostile. Like
Oh
some of these
wow!
guys, like, "You cuck! I'd never let some guy fuck my woman. You're a pussy." All that kind of.
It is
It's
amazing what it stirs up in people.
it gets people so upset.
It,
And I don't understand why can't what is there can't they keep their you know what it is? It stirs up something in them. They get aroused or angry or feeling insecure, and then they have to lash out to make themselves feel better.
bingo, that's exactly right.
But if you ever want a good interesting read, go read the comments on the video that I have on my YouTube Karen Lee Potter wall. It's on something like, "Is it okay to sleep with my wife?" or something like that. I don't even know the name of it, but you'll find it.
The last factor that might weigh into someone getting into cuckolding is this taboo factor. And we talked about that. People like taboo, and it's taboo to have your wife fuck someone else.
You think?
Yeah. So yeah, I think in this interview that we're about to play, you're gonna hear. I don't think this guy even necessarily considers himself a cuck,
I think he's
but
definitely compersion for sure.
and the jealousy factor. You're gonna hear a lot of his thoughts and a lot of your questions to all the people that have been texting us at that wonderful, easily remembered number that is actually in the episode description of this episode.
And I know you want me to sing it again, and I will just for you. Okay, here we go. Ready, everybody? I got to sing it in a song, though. That's going to be really difficult. All right, I'm just going to say it because I can't sing it in a song. Okay, take out your pens and paper or your what? What do you got? I'm just telling people to
You're
get ready.
blabbering right now.
I'm getting them ready to get some sort of
They
utensil
got
out
it. They
to
got the
write it
phone. They're
down.
already
Okay.
listening.
All right. 310 356 3920.
310
356 3920.
It's very memorable.
Thank you.
Anyway, we got a lot of questions over there that I was fascinated by. We pitched them all to this person who's experienced with this, and you're going to hear from T, who is a delight, who also came from this texting. Just text us. We're gonna maybe bring you on the show, maybe answer your questions. It's a fun time.
You know what I liked about him? What a sweetheart. He's a sweet man. There's some people are yes and people. He's a yes and.
Yes,
And
and you love the yes and.
I know,
people.
and he's from down south, so he's got that cute little accent.
That's what I'm amazed by. He's from down south. He's going against the grain by even expressing a lot of, or exploring a lot of these, let
Right.
alone expressing a lot of these opinions.
I mean, apparently he had, in a small town, it's even harder to find people that have these kind of proclivities. Proclivities?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Proclivities. Yeah. And I think it takes a lot of courage to express and be uniquely yourself. And I fucking love it. I love this guy for coming on. And I also I wanted to thank two different groups of people. Are you ready for this, Mother?
Our sneaky freaks.
Our Sneaky Freaks on Patreon. And if you want to join us for a live Patreon hangout, we do it on a monthly basis. We try to make it monthly. Or basically, we all Zoom and chat with each other. We're doing it tomorrow, Tuesday, June 30th at 6 p.m. Pacific time. Join us on Patreon tonight so you can get that link so you can join us tomorrow.
And it's patreon.com/sex talk with my mom.
Precisely.
And
I also
wait. Can I just say one thing? A reason I think what? Why can't I say anything? You're
Because
always
it's-
stifling me.
I'm sorry.
All right. So the reason that you want to join Patreon is exactly what happened the last couple weeks. For whatever reason, the gods of Instagram decided to ban us from live streaming, And they can, and any platform can ban us, Facebook, any of them, just because we have the name sex in the title. So you want to make sure that you are on this text chain so we don't lose touch. And then you also want to make sure you're a patron so that you can see and hear the stuff that we might get banned from. Does make sense?
It's a safety net for us.
And for
And
them.
for you.
Yeah. The sneaky freaks.
Okay, and I also want to thank our second group of people, which are all the people, also sneaky freaks, who leave us reviews wherever you're listening to this podcast. It really, really helps us out. So this review I would like to read comes from Ayunushatis. I don't know.
Oh.
I probably have butchered this name, but Ayunushatis left us a review that's very sweet. It says, fun, informative, and inspirational. They keep me company during my long days of work and have me laughing all the way through. Are you fucking kidding me? Sweetheart.
I love to hear that Iunusatis or Iunushatis, or I don't know how to pronounce your name is. We really, really love you.
Yes. So please leave us a review. You can do that by going to ratethispodcast.com/mom. And I think we should just let them experience this cuckold now that we've built it up.
Okay, let him hear T, the cuck.
Yeah, but I don't actually think he's a cuck. I don't want to
Who
label
cares?
him as
Whatever.
anything.
All right, T, the guy that has some fun experiences as he wants to share with us as far as sharing his wife with different men. How's that sound?
I hope you enjoy. Mother, I've been preparing my body for post-quarantine life.
How are you going to do that?
I have shaven everything, and I've shaven it with the Manscaped 3.0.
I had this visual of you shaving. Were you concerned that you might get a...
No, I'm not concerned about getting nicked. Is that what you're going to ask about?
Yeah, I was concerned about that.
No, because the Lawnmower 3.0 has skin-safe technology so that we don't have any manscaping accidents.
You know, you don't want to do a little accidental nipple piercing with your old shaver. Get yourself a good quality, perfect trimmer from Manscaped.
You can use this to trim any part of your body. Face, chest, testicles, whatever the fuck
ass?
you want, that hair. You get the ass hair out of there.
Go through that forest so you can find the stump.
This is the best trimmer that I have used. I endorse it fully. I use it on a regular basis to just chop off all the pubic hair that I have. And I can't
Okay.
recommend it enough.
You're like a hairless cat.
Well, guess what? Our listeners can now get 20% off and free shipping with the code MOMTALK, MOMTALK, at manscaped.com. That's 20% off. That's a lot of money off. And free shipping at manscaped.com with code MOMTALK. T, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me on.
I'm very pumped to have you on here.
We are both very pumped to have you on here.
As you know, we posed a question to all of our sneaky freaks that have joined our community by texting us. The question I posed was, we're interviewing a cuckold tomorrow. Any questions for him? And have you thought about cuckolding for yourself? What does it bring up for you? Much love.
And we got a lot of responses to that one.
Unfortunately, our cuckold bailed last minute. But we did get a bunch of responses that surprised me, and yours was one of the ones that surprised me.
And why was that, Cam?
Yeah.
Well, do you remember what you said?
Yeah, I remember.
Do you want to share with our listeners what your response was?
Yeah, I was asking if when he come on, if he's ever done cream pie cleanup after with the cuckolding, and if he's ever cleaned up his own cream pie, and if so, how did he get over the beginning jitters to get going? Because once I get over that and get going, I'm fine. So
Okay, so first of all, for the people who are less advanced, what is a cream pie, and what does it mean, cream pie cleanup?
cream pie is when someone comes inside someone else, and the cleanup is you licking it out.
And that could be anal or vaginal or whatever.
It could be either, yeah, but I only do vaginal, so
Okay,
there's
so
too much bacteria and chances with it being anal, and I'm sure Cam understands that. So
Why do you
Yeah.
say Cam?
I understand. I
Because
completely understand.
I know Cam's a germaphobe, so and I get the
And what about me? What am I like? I'll just dive right in there.
no, but I know he's more germaphobe than you are. So
That is definitely true. Okay.
Yeah, I think when it comes to cream pie cleanups, I would definitely be a little squeamish,
I know. I
especially
probably would too.
if it was anal, especially.
right, yeah.
Okay, but you went on to say me and my wife kind of do it. She has sex with other guys, but I'm not present. Would love to find one that would let me be present and clean up afterwards.
Yeah,
So
we've done that before. We had a kind of a male female threesome, and it ended up being a regular kind of thing. And it was kind of a cuckold. Sometimes I'd join, sometimes I'd just watch, but usually the cleanup would come afterwards. And we hadn't been able to find someone that was comfortable with that, especially where we live at, because it's in the South. If you can't tell by my voice.
yeah, yeah, this is pretty bold of you if especially if people in your community aren't necessarily like you're not. It's not like you're in San Francisco where everyone's cuckolding and everyone's fucking everything. So how did you get over the fear of trying to involve other people in the relationship?
Well, it was kind of started out as a joke, and we started out as I said something, and she didn't want to have sex that night, and she's like, go find it elsewhere. And I said, one of these days I'm going to do that. And then we actually started kind of like looking into it, and I started like researching swinging and non monogamous and stuff like that. And so we tried swinging at first, and then it just went from there. We've been in the lifestyle for going on 11 years now.
Oh wow.
So do you consider yourself a cuckold?
Um, yes and no. I mean, to me, it's not like a certain person that's a cuckold. It's just an activity that you do,
Ah,
if that makes
gotcha.
sense.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
totally makes sense.
So
So how
it's
do
a
you?
variety thing. Sometimes you do it. Sometimes you do other things. It's not just one straight up label.
Right, yeah, because we swing with other couples. She has her people that she plays with. I have my people I play with. She has her relationships. I have my relationships. So we're kind of just like a unique couple for our area, especially on having non-monogamous relationship.
Yeah, how do you even find other people interested in that where you're at?
Well, when we first started out, we were young, and it was real hard to find someone in our age. Everyone was like 20 years older than us. So now it's a little bit easier to find people our age, but we go to like FetLife, Swing Lifestyle, and other websites. We've even met people just through some of the other apps, such as Meet Me, stuff like that.
Gotcha. So I have a definition pulled up here. The definition from Merriam-Webster of cuckold was a man whose wife is unfaithful, and that doesn't seem to give the full picture. So then I went to Urban Dictionary,
Yeah.
and this is what Urban Dictionary says: a man who willingly encourages his wife to sleep with other people because it brings him pleasure. Cuckolds exist on a spectrum between two extremes. On the one hand, it's a masochistic cuckold who enjoys humiliations, degradation, and other demeaning activities at the hands of his wife and her lover. The alpha cuckold lies at the opposite end of the spectrum and does not enjoy any form of humiliation and often has a direct say in who his wife sleeps with and when.
I'm kind of more the second one to an extent, but I don't tell her who she can. We discuss it, and we have a mutual agreement beforehand.
What is that?
It's like if it's like, hey, I want to meet with this person. Okay, how long have you talked to them? How well do you know them? And we go from there. We don't like to do just, hey, just I talked to this person yesterday. They want to meet up. We prefer to get to know the person and all that, and to make sure that it's more safe play that way and safer meeting up with them, especially if we're not meeting with them as a couple.
So it seems like the key part to this is that it must bring you some pleasure to know that she's with someone
Oh
someone
yes,
else.
yes, yeah. I get
And
pleasure.
vice versa.
Right, and she gets pleasure when I'm with someone else because when we get back together, we have some of the most amazing sex that we have ever had in our relationship. Usually,
Because the
Wow.
humans
it
seek novelty. We seek novelty as a human species.
well, we go have fun with our other people, but when we come back, we have a connection between the two of us, a deep connection, and it just makes our attraction to one another more. Whether we're feeding off of maybe the jealousy a little bit, of
Yeah,
being with
I was going
someone
to ask you
else or
about
what.
that.
But yeah, sometimes it's that, and I mean, she's went and spent a whole weekend with her boyfriend at the time, and then come back and like I was picking her up. She'd been over it before we got in the shower, and I was picking her up off the floor while we were having sex. So
So clearly, knowing that so is it the act itself that like knowing that she's with another man right then turns you on, or is it her returning and you feeling that intimacy because you just experienced you kind of went on a limb and she came back and returned?
Well, honestly, it's a little bit of both. It's the point that because that's one of our rules is before we meet up with anyone for any to have sex or anything, the other partner has to know beforehand, and it's knowing that she's with that person at that time, and then when she comes back, and then we have our connection and our like attraction to one another at that time that's so much stronger, and then when we start having sex, there's the different scents you can smell. I can smell his scent on her, or she can smell her scent on me, and that just drives the attraction more and fuels the fire.
Wow.
Do you ever get jealous? Because you mentioned jealousy.
Um, Jealousy is just a state of mind. Um, yeah, you still get jealousy, but it's just you work it out in a sexual manner. Instead of having like a good slow love making sex, it might be like, no, this is my pussy, and just grab her and throw her legs up and just have at it. Um, per se, and vice versa. She may be like, and roll me over and climb on top and just, ride me until I can't take it no more. So it's just a way of working it out, but it's a healthy way. I look at it as a healthy way of working it out.
Look at that. Those are quite some images that you just shared with us. I'm curious about the cream pies, to get back to
Wait,
the cream
why are you
pies.
so obsessed with the cream pie part? I mean,
Because it seemed like the question at hand, the cream pie
yeah, you did
cleanup.
have a question about this.
Yeah.
So
Why?
so
What
the
bothers you about the cleanup, or it doesn't bother you, or turns you on, or does it gross you out, or what's the deal?
Well, if it's someone else, like she's been with someone else and she gets a cream pie, cleaning it up to me it doesn't bother me. It bothers me if it's my own, and I guess it's because I've already got that release and I've not got that. I don't know, going, and then like if I can give it like 15 minutes and turn around and go back, then I'm fine. But it's just the initial of pulling out and then going straight down and eating. I just can't seem to get over that hump.
Well, why do you have to? Why can't you just go take a shower and call it a day?
Well, I mean, there's times that we do, but it's something that's a major turn on for her, and then in return, there's a round two of sex. So why not?
Got it. I
So
was thinking. I was wondering why it is that this turns her on so much.
I don't know. I mean, I guess it's just something of watch of me doing it. I know when it's someone else, she gets off on it because I really get into eating the cream pie. But if it's me, I don't know. I don't get into it as much because it takes me a little while to kind of get going. So that's why I was trying to figure out how I could get over the mental block of that hump of so she could get the same satisfaction out of it, whether it was my cream pie or someone else's I was cleaning up.
What if you just like in your mind thought of fantasize that it's someone else's?
That's easier said than done, though.
I know.
and I think the sexual charge not being there also must have something to do with it.
Yeah.
You just ejaculated. You probably don't want to do much with regard to sex at that point.
Right. And I mean, there's several times, and she gets off enough that like I go down and clean her up, and she'll end up squirting everywhere. And I mean, like soaking everything. and it just be straight from me cleaning her up.
She really likes it.
This is a lot. There's a lot of fluids going on everywhere.
Just
Yes.
roughly, I'm curious as to how old you are.
Me, I'm 33.
So you're still young and vibrant. I mean, I wonder if you're going to be doing this when you're in your 50s and 60s.
I hope so.
Asking for a friend, just curious.
I hope so.
How often is it that you are actually in the room with your wife fucking another guy, and like knowing that that's going on, and you're not necessarily with someone else?
Presently or in the past?
Either one.
In the past, it used to be like 2-3 times a month. Presently, I hadn't found that person yet to rekindle that, to start back on that again. So right now, it's not really happening at all. She does have a guy friend that she has sex with, and then he leaves, and then when I come home, I clean up after it. So, and he does not know about it. So.
Wow, that's pretty interesting.
So wait a second.
He does know she's married and all that, but just doesn't know that I clean up after him when I get home.
But back to the COVID thing. Is that the reason that you say you haven't been doing this lately, or how is that affecting everything?
Well, where we're at, the COVID thing has put a big hitch in it. I'm not going to lie to you about that, but also it's just where we live at. It's hard to find someone interested in a male female scenario because of the persona of it being 2 guys in a room and only 1 girl.
Yeah, but how do you think you got a different perspective on that than the people around you?
I don't know. I guess because I'm weird, you know. I'm just different.
It sounds like you just are very generous of spirit, and you like to have fun, and you don't think of your wife as a possession as much as someone that you care deeply about. So I don't think you're weird.
Yeah. Maybe that's because maybe that has something to do with me being a Gemini.
Oh, definitely. No, my boyfriend's a Gemini too. Maybe Geminis do like to have it all different ways because there's 2 sides.
Right.
Is humiliation part of it or no?
No, I don't.
Oh, interesting.
I don't like the humiliation part or anything like that. She's trying to get me for just when me and her together to get more into the BDSM and being a sub, and I'm working my way into it, but it's a slow process.
Yeah, we're talking to someone else who's with someone who's kind of like you. It's just he's a guy he's turned on by other men fucking his wife, but he's not into humiliation and being locked up or anything like that.
Right. Yeah, I'm the same way.
Pretty interesting. So we have some questions that I wanted to run by you, if from our
other sneaky freaks.
So one person said, yes, one question, can I have his partner's phone number? Lol, just kidding. I would be... So that maybe this guy is actually your cream pie cleanup buddy over here. This person says, I would be interested in how did they find the right third? What do you look for in this third person?
And what's the approach like?
Well, see, the third person that we had was a friend of ours, so we really didn't seek out, and we were having the open relationship too, and so it just kind of happened, and then I was kind of brought into it after them two already had a thing kind of going. But as far as finding it, though, I mean, I can get on FetLife right now. They've got groups that's what they're looking for. That's cuckold groups. They've pages. You can look in your area for it on FetLife. There's also another one site that I've been using to look at, and it's called Double List. And it's like kind of like what Craigslist personal ads used to be. that you can post on there what you're looking for. And we've got a few responses from there, but got ghosted and then the COVID thing. So we haven't been kind of
Ah,
seeking right now because of that until things calm down. And right now, where we're at, our state is still a hot state at this point. So
yeah.
Mhm. So, a lot of people have asked me over the years, and we got a curious question right now about how he became a cuckold. Was it in him, or was a wife, girlfriend, partner that brought up the idea of cuckolding?
she brought it up. We were watching porn together, and it was part of one of the porn that we were watching, and she's like, "Have you ever thought about trying that?" And I'm like, "I don't know, we could try it and see." So, and then the next time me, her, and our friend was together, and she's like, okay. And I'm like, no, I don't know, and I was kind of wishy-washy about it. And so the second time all three of us was together after it come up, then it was like he got done and pulled out and went to walk on the bathroom, and she just grabbed me by the hair of the head and shoved my face in it. So that's kind of what got the ball rolling there. Sorry if I'm
Uh,
being too
do you
graphic.
Hey,
are you kidding me?
no, you're talking to sex talk with my mom. What are you crazy?
I actually was looking. I'm looking for more details. I want to know if there was any crazy situation that this type of play has led you to.
Like what? Like give me an example of what you're thinking.
Has it ever gone awry?
Yeah, like has anybody ever like had any problems?
Have you gotten beaten up? Have you,
No,
Have you ever thrown up after tasting someone else's cum?
no, no, I haven't.
So
No.
it sounds like it's only been positive experiences.
Even my own, I've never gotten sick off of it or anything like that. It does. I mean, it's a different taste. It's probably a required taste. I mean, but
Is it like a fine wine?
even my own. I mean, I've been trying to break that hump. So I mean, tried putting it in a cup and waiting a little bit and then drinking it, or something like that.
Well, have you tried pineapple juice? Apparently, that's supposed to help.
I drink 8 ounces of pineapple juice every morning.
Okay,
Wow.
Hey. maybe that's
we
a
also
problem.
Mom's news a few weeks ago, she talked about how one person was actually guzzling cum to counter COVID. So you could think of it that way too, that you're just taking a nice health precaution there.
Yeah, it's medicinal. It's just like taking cough syrup.
I'm not saying that we're a WebMD over here or anything reliable, but that might be a good workaround if you're trying to drink more cum.
Yeah, no, I'll just do it for the sexual benefits.
So it all started from porn, then, right?
Yes.
Were you like searching out certain when you were looking at porn? Were you guys picking like certain genres?
No, we were just scrolling on Twitter, and it happened to come up in one of the videos, and she likes more of the BDSM and stuff like that, and it was one of more of the cuckold videos where they were degrading and all that, which she knows I'm not into that,
Mhm.
so that wasn't part of it. But she's like, "So what do you think about this part of it?" And that's kind of how it started.
What's her zodiac sign?
Aries.
Okay, she's an adventuresome little girl.
Was the first was the first experience just full blown sex, or was it did you work up to it?
Oh, it was just
What was it like?
it was just full blown. I mean, it wasn't even like when she shoved me down there. It wasn't even like just lick the clit or around the edge. It was just like straight right there in the middle of it.
So would you say there's like a particular personality type that you're going for the third? Like if it's a real macho man, or
Are
if
you
it's a little.
speaking for yourself?
Oh
No, I'm just curious.
well, I mean, me myself, I like to say I'm fat, furry, and funny, but as far as somebody else, it's more of a personality trait, not really a look, that we're going for. As long as we all click, somebody we can laugh and joke with, and that we are kind of discreet. It has to be somebody that can keep their mouth shut, and it stay between just the three of us.
Gotcha.
Well, can you see like if Cam came into the room, like all of a sudden he become like a little Woody Allen? Like, what would you do? How would you make him feel comfortable?
Usually drink a beer or a shot of whiskey, or smoke a joint, or all the above.
Huh.
That usually
Yeah,
relaxes
maybe
the
when I'm in
nerves.
the South, I might hit you up the next time I'm in the South. I've never had an MMF threesome, and I've never been partaking in a cuckolding situation. It might be interesting.
Well, you've got my number. You just got to hit me up then.
All right, I will. Well, I
Oh,
think you've answered all of our questions.
yeah.
And thank you for shedding some light on this and making and normalizing it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and I love that you treat her less as, like a possession as a wife than as someone that you truly care about and want to have a good time with.
Yeah,
Right, because hey, we're not going to get out of this life alive, so we've got to enjoy it while we're here.
A guy after my own heart.
I loved it. You actually are giving me much greater perspective on this because I think a lot of people when they think of cuckolding, maybe it's because they're constantly associating with humiliation play, but I think it is, someone else had asked, any idea what inspired this fantasy?
A lot of people are very curious about how to go about talking to the spouse about it because they don't want to insult the person, or upset the person. But
Right.
I think the
Yeah,
way you
but
did it was a good
I
idea
think
to watch a little porn together.
I think I seen somewhere that it was like 70 or 80% of men at some point in time, whether you were a teenager or since you've been an adult, at some point in time you have sat there and thought, I wonder what my sperm tastes like or my cum tastes like. So, it's just an expansion from there. It's following through with that thought of, hey, I wonder what this tastes like. So you've either tasted it or you've thought about it. So why not take that leap forward and just try it? And then if your partner, seeing your partner with someone else gets you off, and then you can take it a step further. It's just baby steps. Take it one at a time. And seeing her getting pleasured and then you being back with her and you being able to pleasure her more than that person, it could even give you a boost in confidence, make you feel better about yourself, feel better about your sex life, and it could advance your sex life.
Yeah, so there's something about the comparison here between you and the other man is also part of this.
Now that's a good point. Do you ever feel intimidated if the other guy is like particularly virile or whatever physical parts are different than yours?
Now, I do have a story about that. When we first started, the
Oh,
first couple we met with when we were swinging, okay, we got to the bedroom. We met, we talked, we went to the bedroom. He got undressed, and I'm like, wow, I'm not going to measure up nowhere close to that. I'm a grower, not a shower, and wow. So I was kind of like putting off, having to take off the underwear, and finally got around to it and took it off, and nothing was ever said, nothing, and had one of the best experiences we ever had was with them, and even with her, I was like, so I noticed it was a lot bigger. So, how was it? She's like, yeah, but yours gets harder than his does, so yours is still better. So it's not about
ah,
Oh
size. It's
wow.
not about that. To me,
thank
I
you.
think it has more to do with the connection between you and your partner than it does anything else. The way we look at it is me and her are forevers, and everybody else we either have a relationship with or that we're just playing with. It's all just for fun. It's just to expand our sexual horizons with other people.
So you
I
don't
fucking
you
love this.
yeah, I do too. You don't do any like crossing swords or anything like that, having sex like with one other person and your wife?
With one other person and my wife.
You asking if he's involved with the man or if
Yeah.
he does DP?
I didn't get the DP cam. I was just asking if there was like times that, it sounds like you're separate from her. Like she has sex with the other guy first and then she has sex with you, right?
Yeah, but we've
It's
also
not
had
at the same time.
male, female at the same time in the same room. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what I was asking.
yeah,
If
we
you ever like,
we've done it both ways. So yeah, we've done it both ways. But as far as any male on male contact, no.
you didn't cross swords as they say in Entourage.
Yeah, no, we didn't cross swords. But like I said, no male on male. It's just about at that point when it's male female with us, it's about me and the other guy pleasuring her. So she's like
Hmm.
kind of like a
Yeah,
princess on a pedestal, and we're doing everything for her.
It sounds like Pillow Princess.
There you go.
we had one question, which was, does this apply to women as well? And that are women also turned on when they see their husband with another woman?
My wife is.
And it sounds like that might have been the case in reverse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
my wife is, because
Very interesting.
we've had several female-male relationships too. We even had a live-in girlfriend for a little while.
And I love that all these new experiences, like the experience you described with fucking with the big dick guy around, it gives you a perspective of like, you know, the truth behind, I guess, in this situation, dick size, and it gives you a much larger perspective than if you were just to fuck your spouse and that would be it.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
Trust me, I've interviewed enough people to know it doesn't matter.
You've interviewed.
I have. I've interviewed a lot of people, including many porn stars. Only one person said she was a size queen, and that was Alexis Golden. Other than that, I have never met someone else who said that size really matters. It's what you do with it that counts.
Right.
Well, thank you very much, T. This has been very fun and illuminating.
Yes, I enjoyed it. Thank
really
y'all.
is.
I love y'all's podcast. I'm glad I could help out and be part of it.
You are an
Thank you.
official member of the Sneaky Freaks.
Yeah, text
Thank
us
you so
anytime.
much.
Alrighty, y'all. Thank y'all.
Bye.
Thank you. And that was our interview with T. Thank you very much again for coming on, T. That was very fun.
I'd love to hear. You can either text us, you can email us, you can send a smoke signal to us, but we'd like to hear what you thought about that interview.
This is your last chance to enter our Lelo giveaway. Get yourself a vibrator by entering. All you got to do is text us at 310-365.
You forgot?
What is it?
You forgot. 310-356.
356
Okay. Are you interrupting?
3920.
That's right.
Thank
I'm
you.
gonna do it all over because you got everything all screwed up. You had a little dyslexia going on there. I always have it, so it's nice to know that I passed it on to you. Here we go. 310-356-3920.
Text us and get yourself a Lelo. I love you guys for listening. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We really appreciate it. And if you have any guests that you would love to have us have on the show, let us know who those people might be. Because we really enjoyed having T. You know, we don't always have to have some big, famous, unbelievable person like we did like the last couple of weeks. We had Michael Blackson. He was that's such a funny interview. I'd hate for anybody to miss out on that. It's called Michael Blackson Guesses My Mom's Bra Size or something like that, right? Would you like to hear me sing?
I would love to hear you sing, Mother.
310. No, I'm just kidding. And let me tell you about the birds and the bees and the flowers and the trees and having little varieties, proclivities, sexualities, having
Casting couchies.
casting couchies. I didn't even get a chance to do my mom's newsies, so we'll have to save that for next week's.
Ooh, teaser. Talk to you soon. Love ya.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.